Hi folks, it's Ron with Mostly Old Parts, and today we're going to explore the Mopar 8 3/4 center section. I know it's coming up to be swap meet season, and there's going to be hopefully several of them out there for you to pick from. I'm going to give you a quick overview on how to identify them, and it should make picking them out easier. I'll also show you the differences between the small pinion 741 housing, the tapered pinion 489 housing, and the large pinion 742 housing, and the different sure grip units and open carriers that were available in the units. Stick with me and I'll show you what we got. Well, here are the three main cases that you will find in a Mopar 8 3/4 rear end. You've got the 741 housing, the 489 housing, and the 742 housing. The 742 housing being the one that everybody pretty much prizes, as it has the largest pinion, and it's a straight pinion, not a tapered pinion, of all the Mopar 8 3/4 rear ends. Now, if you want to identify one of these things, all you got to do is zoom in here, and the last three digits, 742, this is how they are identified. That's the big rear end. This particular one's out of a 65 Chrysler Imperial. They made these things all the way up to 1970, excuse me, all the way up to 1968, and are pretty much bulletproof as far as hot street use is concerned. The next one over, the 489, this is going to be the second one on the totem pole as far as desirability. They've got a big number 9 on the side of the case, and if we zoom in here at the bottom, you can see right there the last four digits of the casting number are 489, and that is how that particular one is identified. The next one is the 741 housing. Let me zoom this guy back out a little bit. There we go. 741 housing. This was their light duty 8 3/4. It has the smallest pinion of all of them, but for a hot street car with a light body and, say a small block, they work out really well. In fact, I had one of these in my Roadrunner for about 8 years with 355 gears in it and never had a problem with it. The only time I developed a problem with it was when we put it in my in our 62 Valiant race car, and we put on some sticky tires and blew up the sure grip unit in it, which is quite common with a cone type sure grip. Okay, let's take a look at the different carriers that were available from Mopar in the 8 3/4 rear end. The middle one here was the most popular. It was found in most of your family sedans and a lot of light duty trucks and so on and so forth. If you did not opt for the sure grip option on the order sheet, this is what you got. This is the open carrier rear end. If you look inside, you can see the cross pin, you can see the side spider gears, or side and spider gears, and that is the easiest way to identify that. You can take these carriers out. You can put in this carrier in this one or this carrier in this one without any problem whatsoever. They interchange within the cases with no problem. This is the later model cone type sure grip. You can clearly see the springs inside. That's identified as a 69 and newer sure grip unit. They had a little bit of an issue. They really like to blow up if you put some traction to it. You can see where this one here has had an ubu and is no longer serviceable. So that one's going to be coming out of there, and I'll swap another. If you want to identify the gear ratio in an 8 3/4 Mopar, here's the easiest way to do it. You just come in here to the ring gear, and you see that 2.76. That means that's a 2.76 to 1 ratio, meaning the drive shaft turns the input yoke 2.76 times before the rear axle makes one complete revolution. That's the quickest way to check that out. This one over here is a 323. This one over here is a 294, and you can read it right on the ring gear when you turn it around and check it out. Anyway, that's my quick introduction to the 8 3/4 Mopar rear end. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to talk to you about them. And until then, I will see you tomorrow.